Hey everyone, it's Super Bro! And welcome to yet another video I'm making out of the blue. So Mario Day just kinda came and went, and I posted and shared whatever I could think of within the time I could manage, especially with my work schedule. I was thinking of what to do since, I already love talking about my favorite series of all time, Super Mario. I already made 2 big videos discussing my history with the series, and you can check them out on the title card above. But in case you're short for time, Super Mario has had the biggest impact on me. His games helped shape both my taste in media and who I am as a person. I still like to go out of my way to revisit my favorite Mario games today. Now, there is something I never mentioned during those videos, and that is the Super Mario Bros. Movie. No, not that infamous one from 1993, which came out 5 years before I was born, so therefore I don't have much to say about it. It's this one. Yep, and this one. That will be the discussion today, and I thought I'd chill and play Super Mario Galaxy while we're on the topic. Heck, that's what the next Mario movie will be themed around. Also, for those who have been following my channel for years will know that Super Mario Galaxy is the game that started it all for this channel. I picked this game mainly because it was something nearly everyone would recognize. Both this and Galaxy 2 are great games, and I still highly recommend them. And now for the topic at hand. Illumination's Super Mario Bros. Movies. I'll be honest, I was not ready for that news back in 2021. When I saw Shigeru Miyamoto in that Nintendo Direct just surprise us with the announcement that Nintendo and Illumination were collaborating to make a brand new Super Mario Bros. Movie to release in theaters. You know, the studios that made Despicable Me, 2 movies based on Dr. Seuss books, The Secret Life of Pets, The Sing duology, and even that terrible Hot movie that basically ruined Easter for me. Doesn't help that we got Easter around the corner. So yeah, these guys who made all these familiar films, they're making a Mario movie. And that wasn't even the biggest bombshell during that direct. Suddenly, Miyamoto reveals the voice cast, and it was the most bizarre thing I'm sure we have all witnessed. Chris Pratt? Of all people to play Mario, they go with freaking Star-Lord from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Also Emmett from the Lego Movie, Garfield from Garfield, and I think he was also in Jurassic World. Yeah, this guy. I have no issues with the other cast members like Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Jack Black as Bowser, definitely the highlight. But then you got freaking Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. As for the original actor from Mario, also Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi, Charles Martinet. He makes 2 cameos in the Mario movie. Never have I been more baffled at such a bombshell of an announcement. Then people started making memes, animations, like almost no one took this seriously. Not even me. So that's where I was in terms of first impressions. I couldn't help but feel skeptical about what direction they were headed with this. So I just shrugged it off and stuck to playing Mario games and never thought about it again. Fast forward to October 2022, and the trailers started coming out. Holy cow, my skepticism just shattered the moment I started watching the trailers, and it actually drew me in. You guys aren't going to believe this, but as a kid, I always fantasized what it would be like to see a movie about Mario in this style of presentation, and it felt like my inner child was smiling so widely when I was watching this. Going to address this really quick, I never really watched or even heard of the Super Mario Bros. Show as a kid, or the Mario Bros. Super Show. It was called one of those 2 things. I remember that Sad AM cartoon tried to explain the origin of the Mario Brothers first, how they were basically plumbers from Brooklyn, New York, and then they suddenly find themselves in the Mushroom Kingdom while on a plumbing gig. I remember giving it a watch at a Journey's Kids store at the mall, and I thought, meh, it's alright. There was even some electronic stores that had those on VHS and even DVD, and I didn't really think too much of getting that, because even as a kid I was just like, yeah, I think I'm better off playing the Mario games, but these do seem cool. Yeah, I don't know too much about the Sad AM cartoons from the late 80s to early 90s, well, because they were before my time. So yeah, I don't know too much about the media from that era, but I just thought I'd address it. On that note, My main concern about the Mario movie was, were they actually going to respect the source material? And I was asking that because, yes, I am aware of the 1993 movie that basically tried to do like a whole steampunk take on the universe. At the time, the series was still relatively new. Like, it was still, I guess, 10 years old around the time? Almost 10 years old. But thankfully, this Super Mario Bros. Movie from 2023 actually did respect the source material. And not only did they fully respect the source material, they definitely did every single character in this movie justice. I mean, the Super Mario Bros. Movie isn't the best film I've ever watched, but it's such a fun ride every time I watch it. Seeing my favorite series of all time on the big screen was actually really fun. I think the story was good for what it was, especially in terms of the hero's journey. But what really makes me smile about the first Mario movie is the amount of references we can spot. Not just references to Mario and his legacy, but also Nintendo in general. The character cameos, the references to other Nintendo games, the familiar locations, the music. Mamma mia, the music! We hear the Super Mario Bros. Theme a lot throughout the movie, and when it is used, it just sounds so epic that you can't help but feel the impact and you smile. Like when you hear the melody, it just sounds so epic. Unfortunately, there are some licensed songs, as to be expected for a big movie like this, and that's one of my dislikes for this movie. The choice of licensed songs just felt so bizarre to me, and that alone definitely reminded me that I was watching an Illumination movie. What I was really there for was the music pieces from games like Donkey Kong Country, Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Mario Kart. It was all there, and it sounded so beautiful. Brian Tyler really did this movie's musical score justice. And you can tell just how passionate the guy is. As a matter of fact, I love how in the bonus features, the cast and crew are avid fans of Super Mario. So that alone was already a good sign. You know, I love how the cast members are passionate about Mario as well, and they actually share a little bit of their history of playing Mario games with their relatives and friends. Anyways, back to the music. I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. I was not ready for the piano ballad from Bowser. It was pretty cool to see Ludwig von Koopa's name on the piano though, literally playing off of what it's referencing. I remember trying so hard not to break out in laughter when I first saw this in theaters. I get that it was trying to show more of the comedic side of Bowser, which is another thing they definitely got right in this movie, but it also reminded me that Bowser was being voiced by the same guy who voices Poe the Panda and Lenny the Shark. This to me felt a little overboard because I barely heard Jack Black coming out of Bowser up until that damn Peaches song. Despite my few gripes I have about the movie, I like it as a whole. Watching the Mario movie, I never thought I'd actually start relating to Mario. Like, my journey throughout my life is so similar to Mario's, and it's not even funny. I too struggled with self-worth and wanting to do bigger things in my life. I also love how they made it to where Mario will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. No matter how many times he falls, he always gets back up, and with every time he gets back up, he's a lot stronger than ever. Yeah, I relate to Mario very much. Luigi was compelling too. He's more than just the younger brother that hangs in the shadow of his older brother. He's a very nice guy who's very supportive. Sure, he may seem cowardly and hesitant, but when he's with Mario, he knows anything is possible. The relationship between the Mario brothers is just as how I remember it from the games. Like, their bond is just so fun to watch, including seeing Mario basically stand up for Luigi when he's being bullied. Now let's talk about Princess Peach. When I first got introduced to her, and seeing her attitude and personality, I was a bit worried that she was going to be a girl boss, if you know what I mean. I have no problem with the character trope, but some movies just make those types of characters unlikable. But thankfully, that's not the case here. Even though she seems flawless and independent, she also has that soft side to her. Like, she's the kind of person who's very sweet and caring at her core. But when there is danger at hand, she knows she has to step up and be tough. I loved seeing this side of her, and I can actually see why she surrendered to Bowser near the final act of the movie. She's not a helpless damsel in distress who allows herself to get kidnapped. She just doesn't want her people being hurt or killed. So she leaves it up to fate that someone rescues her, and hopefully both she and her kingdom will be safe. Like, she practically gave herself up for the sake of her people. I also love how this movie gives us a real glimpse of Mario and Peach's friendship. Yeah, Peach is quick to judge Mario just like everyone else in the beginning, but they slowly start forming something of a friendship, and it's very compelling to see. When Peach shows Mario around the Mushroom Kingdom on their way to the Kong's Kingdom, you can see how much it impacts Mario. Then that scene where they take a rest in the Fireflower Fields brings the two closer together. This is my favorite scene in the movie because Peach knows the weight of Mario's situation, him missing his brother and all, Luigi being captured by Bowser, and then Peach opens up about her past, and Mario stating that she may be from his world too, basically strengthened their relationship. You know how Nintendo stated themselves that these two are just friends and not romantic partners? Well, that really shows here, and I'm all for it. And even when Mario and Peach grow closer, other characters like to tease them as if Mario's a flirt. But in reality, Mario's just grateful to have someone like Peach by his side. This to me is what a real, healthy relationship should look like. Seeing each other's strengths and weaknesses, and them interacting helps develop both of their characters. I also love how they gave just this one Toad a compelling personality. When Mario first meets him, it's very comedic, but once Mario mentions that his brother was sent to the Darklands, Toad immediately feels the weight of the situation and the two become companions. Then he continues to be a loyal friend to both Mario and Peach on the way. He's also very brave. And he definitely gives the same energy as the blue Toad who assists the bros and Peach in some games, like New Super Mario Bros. Or 3D Land or even Mario Bros. 2. Speaking of which, I guess I should bring up just how gorgeous the presentation is in this movie. The fact that the very pizzeria the bros are in during the second act of the movie is themed after Punch-Out! It's amazing to see all of the references, especially knowing that Mario was the ref in the NES Punch-Out! Then we meet Spike, Mario's former co-worker/rival from Wrecking Crew. Good to know that he's in this movie too. I also loved hearing Luigi's GameCube startup ringtone. I'm sorry, I just had to mention this as someone who grew up playing the GameCube. When Mario and Luigi are on their way to their first gig, they platform their way through this construction site like a literal Mario level. There's even a flagpole at the end with a castle building. Oh, that was nailed perfectly. After the disagreement Mario has with his father, also voiced by Charles Martinet, he's seen playing Kid Icarus, another iconic NES game from that era. Then when the news shows the flooding downtown, we briefly see Pauline. Then once they go underground, it references World 1-2, the underground level. Right from the get-go, the movie starts off strongly. Then it gets even better once the bros enter the Mushroom Kingdom. We see familiar enemies from both New Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario 3D Land/World. We see the Bramballs, we see the Bitty Bugs. There's even the same clear pipes in the Toad Town next to Peach's castle. And then when we cut to Bowser's, his troops are rocking out to the music that plays when Fury Bowser appears in Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. And the obstacle course scene. Oh man, the obstacle course scene. Where Peach has to force Mario to eat a mushroom in order to get stronger, and I guess Mario hates mushrooms just like Sonic does. I actually find it kind of cool how it took Mario so many tries to get through the rest of the obstacle course, whereas Peach conquered it effortlessly. When he finally does make it, well, sort of, Peach is still amazed at his resilience to make it through something no matter how hard it may be. And even states, yeah, it took her many tries before. It just really plays as a metaphor for anyone who's had these types of struggles, and it relates to anyone who struggles to beat a certain Mario level. I love how much that's expressed here. The Kong's Kingdom and the Mario Kart scene are definitely my favorite parts of this movie. I do have two major complaints about this scene. The first one is Cranky Kong being depicted as Donkey Kong's father, whereas in the Donkey Kong games, Cranky is actually his grandfather. And I also love that DK's intro begins with the DK rap from DK64, but Grant Kirkhope doesn't even show up in the credits. Other than that, seeing Mario get the mini mushroom and then trigger the iconic Seth Rogen laugh, then the tables start turning once Mario gains the cat power, it's a fun scene. And then you got Cranky's map looking like Super Mario World's, and then cut to the most satisfying scene in the entire movie. Mario, Peach, and Toad are greeted with the same kart customization system as Mario Kart 8, and even the menu music from Mario Kart 8 is arranged here. We see Peach's arrow outfit, Toad driving in a heavy build, which is fitting for a light character in Mario Kart. And once everyone starts driving, we get right to Rainbow Road, and it's so awesome. Once the Koopa clan attacks, we see lots of Mario Kart shenanigans, like bananas, shells, drifting, mini-turbos, risky shortcuts, and even the spiny shell. Alright, I'm not going to reveal the rest of the movie for those who haven't watched it, but I'll say that we soon see Unaga the eel from Mario 64, we've already seen the penguins from Mario 64, and Galaxy, a Luma named Lumali, which I guess is kind of referencing the Luma Shop guy, King Boo, King Babam, Peach and Bowser's wedding suits, the Ice Flower, the Tanuki suit, a Bonsai Bill, and the Superstar. If you haven't watched the first Mario movie yet, you should watch it. It's actually really great. It's not perfect, but still super great if you're an avid Mario fan. Back to the present, last year celebrated Mario's 40th anniversary, and with that came the first teaser for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I'm not feeling skeptical like I originally felt towards the first Mario movie, because I know for a fact that just like the first movie, it's going to do the series justice. I love the whole setup too, like how we're going to see more unique characters like Birdo, Wart, Piantas, Ninjas, and we already know that there's Rosalina, and Bowser Jr., and Yoshi. The trailers show a lot of promise here, and I love how we get to see Rosalina, voiced by Brie Larson by the way, fight the Mega Leg boss from Galaxy 1, Bowser Jr., voiced by Benny Safdie, assuming his power-up state from the Super Mario Bros. Wonder game. We saw Mario and Luigi going through Toast Arena from Super Mario Odyssey and the Inverted Pyramid. There's just so much to look forward to with this movie, and I love where things are going. And then comes another bombshell from just recently. Fox, McCloud, and Pikmin are apparently going to make cameo appearances in this movie too. Now, I do know a thing or two about Star Fox, especially since I spent a lot of time playing Star Fox on the SNES and both GameCube titles, Adventure and Assault. The series has gone rather unnoticed as far as Nintendo IPs, so I'm glad to at least know that he's being acknowledged. Other than that, yeah, I'm actually very excited to see this movie now. Now, a lot of people would ask, oh, does this mean they're setting up for a Super Smash Bros. Movie? Well, only time will tell. I mean, we still have yet to hear about the live-action Legend of Zelda movie, also confirmed by Miyamoto. So yeah, a lot to look forward to. I'm really excited to see this movie, and I urge you guys, please be safe when you're going out to the theaters, and don't do anything too reckless. I encourage you to go in your Mario cosplays just like me and my friends plan on doing. Overall, that's all I wanted to discuss. So the first Mario movie was done really well, and the Super Mario Galaxy movie shows a lot more promise, and I will be talking about that movie soon. And I actually want to discuss this with my friends too, like hold something of a podcast. And that's about all for tonight. If you guys like this video, hit that like button, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm Super Bro Alex, and I hope you guys enjoy your week. Most importantly, stay safe out there, and keep looking after each other. These are still very scary and uncertain times, so keep being kind. Later.